CH2 Lesson 2 on page 101, Percents and Fractions. Students were asked to choose their favorite sport to play. For each sport, shade a 10 by 10 grid that represents the number of students out of 100 that chose the sport. Okay, so basketball, they have 3 out of 20. Well, 3 out of 20, we have to change to being relevant for 10 by 10 or out of 100. So to make it out of 100, we need to do times 5 and times 5, which would make 15 out of 100. So then we just shade 15 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 out of 100 is the same as 3 out of 20. Football, 3 out of 25. Well, 3 out of 25, we have to make out of 100. So times 4, and we get 12. So one whole row of 10, and then 1 and 2. Okay, gymnastics, 1 out of 20. And to make it out of 100, to do times 5 and times 5, which would make 5. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then we have 9 out of 100, so it's already out of 100. So just need to do 9 out of 100. All right. What fraction with the denominator of 100 represents the number of students who chose each sport? Okay, so just basketball, 15 out of 100. Football was 12 out of 100. Gymnastics was 5 out of 100. And swimming was 9 out of 100. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. 45% is the same as 45 out of 100. Okay, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 45. So from 0 to 100%, 45 is not quite in the middle, but close. To write a percent as a fraction, first write the percent as a rate per 100, then simplify. Okay, so write 50% as a fraction. Well, we know it's 50 out of 100. Remember, percents are always out of 100. So 50 out of 100 is the same as 1/2. 55, what fraction of cell phone owners is this? So 55%, so we're changing it back to a fraction. So 55 out of 100, and then you have to divide by 5, which would give you 11 out of 20. So this is the simplest form. Okay, got it? So write each percent as a fraction in simplest form. So 75%, you need to do out of 100, right? I'll just do but this is not simplest form. So make sure you put it all the way into simplest form before you write it in the blank. Same with 90, make it out of 100, and 38 out of 100, and then make sure you put it in simplest form. Okay, the table shows the percent of each movie type rented during a month. What fraction of the rentals were action movies? Action, 35%. So make it out of 100 and then put it into simplest form. So divide by 5, which is 7. Divide by 5, which is 20. So 7 out of 20. So action movies were rented 7 out of 20 of the time. Got it? So write the fraction of rentals that were horror movies. So do the same. Make it out of 100, because percents are always out of 100, and then put it in simplest form before you put it over here. Fractions as percents. To write a fraction as a percent, find an equivalent ratio with 100 as the denominator. So 6 to 8, right, as a percent. Well, you can't just make it out of 100. So what they're telling you to do is simplify that fraction first. So 6 out of 8, you can divide by 2 to get 3/4. And this is one of those benchmark fractions we should remember. 3/4 is the same as 75 out of 100. So 75% of the rectangle is shaded, right? Because this is each 25. 3/4, right? 25, 25, 25, 25. Okay, so you have 75 out of 100. Got it? So write this fraction as a percent. So first put it into simplest form, step 1. And then the second thing you want to do is change it from simplest form into a percent. So make it be out of 100. It has to be out of 100 to be a percent. Okay, that's what a percent is. And then remember our little percent sign. So small circle dash small circle. So make sure over here you have the percent sign and then the answer. Example 5. Mitch made 12 out of 40 shots during the championship game. What percent of the shots did Mitch make? Okay, so first thing you want to do is just simplify it, right? Simplify it. Divide by 4, divide by 4. Now you have 3/10. 3/10 you can easily make as a denominator of 100. You just multiply by 10, multiply by 10, multiply by 10 to get 30. Then your answer is just 30%. You just have to write 30 and then your little percent symbol. Okay, remember with percents, we don't write the out of 100. This symbol means out of 100. Alana spelled 19 out of 25 words correctly. What percent of the words did she spell correctly? So you have to make it out of 100, figure out what you're going to multiply by, and then just use this top number to be the percent. And then put your answer here with the percent sign, of course. All right, so time for a little drawing lesson. As I'm practicing, I've been practicing a lawn gnome, or maybe a Christmas elf, depends on what you want to call it. Start with a rectangle. A rectangle. This is going to be his body. And a good lawn gnome needs to have a cute fuzzy hat. And he also needs elf-like ears. And some curly hair. And a long nose. And maybe I'll even make mine with glasses. And of course, a scruffy beard. That's, of course, very, very important. Gotta get that scruff in. And some buttons. And some pointy shoes with a little bit of a, you know, like that elfy sort of point on the end. There we have it, a happy little garden gnome. All right, I'll see you in class.